Have you seen this one before? Yes, I have. Everything that is going wrong is going to be blamed on this or that. We just came out of a period where everything was blamed on the cough, and now everything is going to be blamed on Eastern Europe. We have food shortages that are happening out there, and civil unrest. And of course, that's all going to be linked back to what's happening on Eastern Europe. Anyone who says anything that the government does not approve will be said to be someone who supports what's going on in Eastern Europe. But no, it doesn't stop there. But all the food production that has gone offline in Eastern Europe, well, that's the reason for all the food crisis. It's not about the Netherlands shutting down farms. It's not about the United States paying farmers not to grow crops. It's not about the destruction of tens of millions of dollars worth of produce and food. It's not about the lack of irrigation and water due to water mismanagement out in California. It's not about any of those things. It's all about Eastern Europe. We need to have a very simple narrative that the stupid people can be told again and again and again and again that it's all related to this. And it needs to be attached to some kind of boogeyman that we can blame this group of people for all of our problems everywhere. And anyone who disagrees with us clearly supports those evil people. This is classic propaganda, folks. You need the lie to be so simple that it is an answer for everything, right? Why do we have supply chain issues? Well, because the cough shutdowns. Why aren't there any eggs on the shelves? Well, because of supply chain issues due to the cough. It's 2 years later. It's 2.5 years later. What do you mean there's egg problems? Because, people are starting to figure out that this lie is really a lie. We need a new lie. And conveniently enough, the powers that be this spring were able to conjure up a new lie, and that is Eastern Europe. This is the answer of why we have egg shortages. And if you ask the question, why would that cause egg shortages? Well, stop spreading disinformation. Right? You must be from bear country or supporting bear country, because how dare you question the powers that be that are valiantly fighting against the oppression in Eastern Europe. We're seeing this more and more, that stores are being told that they should be preparing for civil unrest, which would be due to the food crisis, which is due to Eastern Europe, of course. Everything that is bad, everything that makes the government and the powers that be portrayed in anything better than shining golden light, will be portrayed as being due to Eastern Europe's issues. The invasion, bear country, it's all their fault. And anyone who points out any issue, well, clearly it's because they support that. Folks, this is how you get silenced. This is how freedom of speech gets taken away. Freedom of conversation gets taken away. Freedom to think gets taken away, because all they do is they take the Eastern Europe stick and beat you over the head with it, right? Until you accept everything in order to show yourself to be a moral, standing, upright person. You sit down and you eat your cricket burger, and you eat your lab-grown meat, and you eat your Beyond Meat burger, and you eat whatever they tell you to that is pumped full of chemicals and solvents and things to make you more agreeable, right? They want to make sure there's enough chemicals in there to make sure that you are an agreeable, positive citizen who does what you're told, docile, a docile sheep that will go to the slaughter as you are told. You will watch your media on the approved channels. You will do the approved things like play video games and never go outside and not talk to people in person because they're dangerous and ideas could be dangerous, and you don't want to be exposed to them like you don't want to be exposed to the cough, right? All that to say, they want complete control over your life. And in order to do that, they will have to have one issue after the next that is the result, that is the cause of everything. And when Eastern Europe stops making sense to the majority of people out there, they'll come up with another lie. And they'll pull out another stick out of their closet and they will beat you over the head with that as well, until you submit to whatever they want you to do. Folks, you need to keep free up here. Now, you're watching my channel, and I'm sure you're watching channels like mine. You're out there reading information for yourself. You're scouring Reddit and Telegram, and you're checking out good posts up on Facebook, like in certain groups that tend to keep getting have Zuckerberg coming after them, of course, for sharing truthful information and firsthand accounts of what's actually going on out there. Those are the people that, as you listen to, you are hearing truth. You're hearing the lies get peeled back. They're saying these things don't make sense because they don't jive with reality. And as you stay free up here, you are free to make decisions that will protect you, your family, and your loved ones. There is no food crisis. That's what they say. But then on the other hand, they say there's a food crisis because of what's happening in Eastern Europe. Don't you dare question how those conflict with each other. All of the food crisis that's happening around the world, millions and millions of people are going to starve, say the UN. And it's all due to the Eastern Europe crisis. But then we're told, no, there's not a food crisis. Which is it? Which is it? Notice how the lie can be used for both sides. People who are spreading rumors of food shortages, well, they're really pro-bear country invaders. And those who deny that there are food crisis because of the bear country are also pro-bear country. What? How does that even make sense? It doesn't make sense. But you need to stop thinking. You need to stop questioning things that you are being told, even when they're contradictory. You need to bow down and accept what you're being told by everyone that is in power, every approved source out there, and you need to help enforce this groupthink on everyone around you. A lot of people on this channel keep asking the question, why do people push back so hard on me when I start pointing out facts, when I start sharing simple truth with people? People get really worked up. There are no food shortages. Well, President Biden says there are. The UN says there are. Trudeau says there are. Macron, all these European leaders say there's a food crisis. What do you mean there's not a food crisis? Well, my approved sources say that food shortages are lies and that that's propaganda. But all of the people that you trust in government say that there are food shortages. Folks, not only are you being lied to, you are just being beaten with a stupid stick, okay? And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being beaten with a stupid stick. And I won't put up for it. I just won't. I'm going to think what I think because I'm going to actually research things for myself and try to understand things for myself. I'm going to surround myself with people who actually care to give thought to things, who actually will read source documents sometimes, who will actually go to sources that are actually trustworthy because they're honorable people who aren't trying to peddle an agenda. Listen, if food shortages stopped, if all this destruction of our food supply system stopped, I would talk about something else. But the news still keeps coming. And by news, I don't mean what's coming off of CNN and MSNBC and these approved organizations. I'm talking about stuff that's actually being reported by people and facts and figures. There's organizations that actually have to deal with reality, and those organizations have a tendency to speak a lot more truth than these organizations that exist to promote and peddle propaganda. Food shortages are real. All the people in power say it's absolutely true. In fact, it's so true they blame it on Eastern Europe. But they don't want you to admit that it's actually true. You need to choose what you're going to believe. You're going to need to choose where you stand and the choices that you make. But in the end of the day, you're going to be the one who suffers if you make the wrong choices. Folks, if you stockpile food today that you're going to eat in the future, if inflation stays high like it kind of is, you're going to save money. That's the worst case scenario. You're going to save money. Best case scenario, or that you actually need your preps, you're actually going to save your life and the lives of your family and the people around you, or at the very least have a lot less suffering in your life. I don't see how anyone would not stock up some extra for the rainy days there to come. Your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-great-grandmother would look you right in the eyes and say, you better start stockpiling some canned goods, and you had better save up for a rainy day, or else you're a stupid fool. I don't know if she'd say it just like that, but the essence would be the same. You go back 100 years and you talk to your ancestors and tell them that you have 2 days worth of food in your pantry, but it's okay because you eat out at restaurants every day. They would look at you like you are a stupid fool. So when someone else does you that, they don't have any food in their house, I don't know. Maybe just channel your inner ancestor and look at them and say, you're a stupid fool, because you're not prepared for eventualities. Take some smart, intelligent steps. Don't live in fear. What's going to happen is going to happen, and unfortunately you and I probably really don't have all that much to say about it. But what you can do is you can prepare yourself and prepare your family with prudent steps. That's all you really can do at the end of the day. You can take care of you and a few people around you and hopefully be a blessing to your community. That's what we're doing down here in Eastern Kentucky. Do keep praying for us, I pray. And if you like this video, you might want to check out this video right here. Otherwise, I will see you later. Steve Poplar, out.